It's time for another Real Talk session. Stay tuned.
Time is just ticking away. Welcome to a new Real Talk session with Theodore's Minds. I want to welcome you back and thank you for allowing me to come into your homes and talk about this segment on cloning. I don't know if clones are real. I have dubbed myself as an investigative journalist. I'm here to find out. I have a lot of questions, and I begin with this movie here, The Boys from Brazil, from 1978. In this scene here, they're going to discuss how cloning is possible. Credible sources have said that what's shown in this film is basically what they do to clone human beings today. Some people have said that one of my favorite rap artists, Gucci Mane, is a clone.
Gucci Mane in here.
Yeah, man.
I think we do. You know what I'm saying? Gucci Mane, hello.
I love it.
All right, and I know you hear this all the time, man, and I know we got a lot to celebrate. First off, I got to say welcome back to the neighborhood, man. It is a pleasure to have you in the neighborhood, man. Believe that.
Thank y'all for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Now, before we do anything, man, this is Gucci Mane. Okay, cool. All right.
Exactly.
All right, because all that cloning stuff that was going down, man, all that, when they put that in the universe, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know you got to be extremely important, and people got to give a damn about you when somebody make up a rumor that you've been cloned.
So that's the original Gucci Mane right there. They look like a different person to me. The Mane on the left is not the Mane on the right. The nose is different, the lips is different. The way his eyes look, the look in his eyes is different. That ain't the same man. I don't know, but I'm here to find out.
Yes, Maynard was sort of a primitive geneticist in his own way, wasn't he? I understand that he experimented on human beings.
Twins.
Then he was nothing more than a sadist, really.
Sadist with an MD and a PhD.
Well, some people would say that's a perfect definition of a scientist. What exactly do you mean when you say the boys you saw were more than twins?
Not only did they look alike, but they were also very alike in personality.
That is...
In this movie here, The Boys from Brazil, 1978, these boys he talking about were obviously clones.
unusual. Studies show that twins who are separated at birth develop totally different personalities.
But these twins, or perhaps I should say triplets, because I believe that my associates saw another, were like the same people, but brought up with different languages.
It's impossible, of course.
Excuse me, doctor, but what is impossible?
He know it's not impossible. He working on it. He doing it. He dreaming about it. It's not impossible.
What is impossible, doctor?
Mononuclear reproduction.
Oh, doctor.
Cloning. What if I were to tell you that I could take a scraping of skin from your finger and create another Ezra Lieberman?
I would tell you not to waste your time or my finger.
Anyway, that is cloning. It was first done with plants. A cutting taken from a plant and transplanted grew to be the exact duplicate of the donor plant. Now we are doing the same thing with laboratory animals.
You mean you can produce an animal from itself?
We take the unfertilized egg of an ovulating female and destroy all of its genes and chromosomes. We then implant the nucleus of the donor cell, which could be taken from a blood sample or even a skin scraping. That cell, with its genetic material intact, eventually becomes an embryo and is born as a living creature.
Without parents?
Well, it has no...
Without parents, without a soul.
Father, because the egg was never fertilized. No mother, because its genetic code comes from another being. Can you follow that?
Can you follow
This
that?
creature is an exact duplicate of itself? Oh, Doctor, how can that be?
Come along.
Come along. Let me show you these secrets. Come along down the rabbit hole. Y'all gotta check out this film, man. It's not crazy.
Our experiments began with the simplest patterns, frogs, frogs, animals in which the female's eggs are fertilized externally. Then we moved on to mammals. We tried several laboratory animals and found the rabbit most convenient.
Then we moved on to humans. Talking about we done moved on to mammals.
I had to develop instruments which could accomplish the operation. And a whole micro-injection system.
A whole micro-injection system. This man had to develop brand new instruments. Their dream is to live forever.
Show you how it's done.
I'm gonna show you how it's done.
You are removing the eggs of a white rabbit from the fallopian tubes. Now, you see the egg under a microscope. I've brought the point of an ordinary sewing needle into view to give an idea of the size.
They are that small,
Most mammal eggs are about that size.
including human eggs?
Yes. The next step is to destroy the egg nucleus with ultraviolet light so that none of its genetic makeup remains. Now you see an egg from a white rabbit ready to be injected with the blood cell from a black rabbit donor. With the injection of the pipette, one of the blood cells is sucked up and then injected into the egg. After a few hours, the eggs in culture divide and are ready to be put back into the female. There they grow into embryos, which in a month's time, the normal gestation period, they will become baby rabbits. In this instance, a black litter from a white mother, their black color proves that they have been cloned from the blood cell of a black rabbit.
That's what my face look like. That's what my face look like. Wow.
Isn't it difficult to get the egg back into the female?
Transferring the eggs isn't a problem. We do that all the time with laboratory animals. The really tricky part is the microsurgery. Getting the donor cell into the egg. You're lucky 1 in 10 survives.
1 in 10 survive.
Humans?
If the surgical technique were precise enough.
It's monstrous, Doctor.
Why? Wouldn't you want to live in a world full of Mozarts and Picassos? Of course, it's only a dream. Not only would you have to reproduce the genetic code of the donor, but the environmental background as well.
So you grow the clone, and then you put it through some type of teaching, accelerated teaching, like a helmet with like lenses on it, and just play back the life of that previous person over and over and over. And it's got to be some way to induce that memory quickly into that creature that's been born out of a laboratory that's a clone. It's got to be. Because it's obviously they be having these malfunctions. I've seen Hillary Clinton look like she was about to do a break dance.
Short circuits.
Because her clone was malfunctioning.
Is Mengele trying to reproduce himself? No.
They're very pleased to announce that the first baby clone is born.
We got Kid Boo here. With the pink hair, with the tattoo on the forehead, claiming that he's a clone. Let's check him out.
Kid Boo, welcome to Vlad TV.
Hello.
Make a lot of noise recently, man. Congrats.
Thank you.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, everyone works towards that, you know, that video that goes viral.
Alright, yo, so he wigging out. Supposedly he getting like some type of invisible message. I guess he can see on his eyeballs. Maybe he got special lenses on his eyes or something, you know, in his retina or something like that. I don't know. But if this cat is a real clone, then he claims to be a generation 2. Let's talk about it.
Viral. And it looks like you have like a nice little handful of them now. You know what I mean? It's a big accomplishment.
Yeah, I got my hands a bit full now. Thanks to these accomplishments. Got a few more extra things in my hand I didn't quite anticipate, but it all comes with the territory, I suppose.
Of course. So, where'd you grow up?
South Florida.
Okay. I guess you originally were born in Jersey?
So, this man is interviewing Kid Boo, you know, you're a normal fellow, I suppose. And he's trying to have a normal interview with this guy. And, well, he about to get ready and go in left field with the stuff that he's saying. I can't even believe that I'm hearing this stuff. Like, I'm just starting to get into the research on these clones, man. And I didn't even think that I would come across this type of stuff.
Yeah. Originally, my first gen. I'm a second gen now. That's why you see the celebrity bursts say I'm born in Toronto, but that's false. My first gen was born in Jersey. However, I was cloned by Clonate in Canada. My model number is 0112568 if anyone wants to see the registration of Clonate.
So this cat got a model number. I seen some other video. You guys got to look down, go down the rabbit hole on this one here, on this Kid Boo cat. He was in Canada, and he had went to that Clonate place. Guess I'm gonna have to do some research on that. And he was acting like he was walking around the facility and everything, and he was showing a badge that he got to have, and it actually said Clonate on it. It had his picture on it. I mean, if this cat is lying, he's going all the way out with it.
Okay. So then you end up in South Florida.
Yep.
Okay. And what nationality are you?
Sicilian and Puerto Rican.
Okay. Sicilian and Puerto Rican. Okay.
Yeah.
I can see that now.
Those are
That's
my
what's
two
up.
genomes.
Okay.
And I was looking at some other interviews with this cat. He ain't like the typical dumb rapper. He know how to use words. He's elegant with his speak. Even more so than I am at this point.
Who's the Puerto Rican one? Who's the Sicilian one?
When I was cloned, they wiped a lot of memory, but when I stole the documents before escaping, I read that the mother was Puerto Rican and the father's surrogate, the sperm donor was Sicilian.
Okay, so you're a test tube baby.
Yeah.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And I guess you have a fraternal twin.
Yeah.
Brother or sister?
Brother.
Okay. So you guys, you know, fraternal twins, you know, is different.
So this other guy sitting across from this entity is hearing all of this. And he's like, oh, you got a brother? Oh yeah, man, you got a sibling, huh? Oh. Y'all both test tube babies.
From identical twins. So do you guys look kind of similar or not really?
I don't think anyone looks as similar as me.
Okay, are you guys real close?
Yeah, we're close.
Yeah. The Illuminati knows the answers, taking bone samples to clone rappers. But the artists in prison to silence their vision, genetic copies going home after. They look different, eyes shifted, smile missing, skin lifted. It's scientific. If they can't control you, they erase the old. You get your duplication to enforce the message.
I'll take a small excerpt from this song here because he's about to say they cloned Gucci Mane, Kodak Black, and Eminem.
Skin lifted, it's scientific. If they can't control you, they erase the old. You get your duplication to enforce the message. The clone Gucci, clone Kodak, clone Eminem. He ain't rap since Encore. Know that clone.
Might say he ain't rap since Encore. What in the world? Eminem show acted different, though. I got to admit that. So, the more I investigate whether human cloning is real or not, the more I am convinced that human cloning is real. Check out this footage here that I found of an actual doctor operating illegal cloning in a facility somewhere in the Middle East where apparently it's legal.
In the eerie blue light of his secret lab, one of the world's most controversial scientists shows off his creation, cloned human embryos that are genetic carbon copies of their father.
Oh, my babies are doing well. They look beautiful.
Filmed for a TV documentary, Dr. Panagiotis Zavos implants 11 of the embryos in 4 women, one of them British, in the hope of producing the first cloned human being. The procedure is a criminal offence in the UK, but not in this undisclosed Middle Eastern country.
I think we have 3 very good embryos that could be in utero today, and that if implantation is successful as well, and the pregnancy is maintained, as we say in the US, we have a home run.
Dr. Zavos also reveals he's produced cloned embryos from 3 dead people, including Katie, who died in a car crash. He injected her DNA into a cow egg, though he hasn't implanted the animal-human hybrid. British scientists have condemned his work as reckless. Cloning of animals, such as Dolly, has shown the technique carries risks of severe congenital abnormalities.
I find it A, incredible, and B, disgusting, because he's sowing false hope to begin with. So the individuals who are involved in this experiment, and that's what it is, an experiment, may well not realise that the outcome is almost certainly going to be negative.
That means death.
Couples through that, in my opinion, is unethical.
Dr. Zavos adapted a standard cloning technique for his human patients. He first took...
So this is going to be just like in the movie The Boys from Brazil, when the doctor was showing him how they actually do the cloning. Well, check this out.
An egg from the mother and stripped out the nucleus containing 99.9% of her DNA. He then took a skin cell from the father and extracted the genetic material. That was injected into the empty egg and given a jolt of electricity to form a cloned embryo. Within a matter of days, the embryo would have grown into a ball of 32 cells, which Dr. Zavos implanted into the mother's womb. So far, none of the attempts has led to a viable pregnancy, but this infertile Canadian doctor who wants to remain...
This was also made 11 years ago. They've got better. And this is just what they show us. Just imagine what military applications are doing.
Anonymous says the technique is his only hope of having a child.
Pretty much decided that probably I would be the first one to be cloned, but then, if it worked, then we might go on to have another child.
Despite almost universal condemnation, Dr. Zavos has vowed to continue his work. He says more than 100 patients have contacted him in the hope of having a cloned baby. Thomas Moore, Sky News.